prophecy that his mother taught him. What, my son? And what the son of my womb? What the son of my vows? Give not thy strength unto women, nor thy ways to which destroyers kings. It is not for kings, O Lemuel, it is not for kings to drink wine, nor princes strong drink, lest they drink and forget the law and pervert the judgment of any of the afflicted. Give strong drink to him that is ready to perish, and wine unto those that be of heavy hearts. Let him drink and forget his poverty, and remember his misery no more. Open thy mouth for the dumb, in the cause of all such as are appointed to destruction. Open thy mouth, judge righteously, and plead the cause of the poor and needy. Verse 10. Who can find a virtuous woman? For her price is far above rubies. Her heart, the heart of her husband, does safely trust in her, so that he shall have no need of spoil. She will do him good and not evil all the days of her life. She seeketh wool and flax, and worketh willingly with her hands. She is like the merchant ships. She bringeth forth her food from afar. She riseth also while it is yet night, and giveth meat to her household, and a portion to her maidens. She considers the field and buyeth it. With the fruit of her hands she planteth a vineyard. She girdeth her loins with strength, and strengtheneth her arms. She perceiveth that her merchandise is good. Her candle goeth not out by night. She layeth her hand to the spindle, and her hands hold the distaff. She stretched out her hand to the poor, yea, she reaches forth her hands to the needy. She is not afraid of the snow for her household, for all her household are clothed with scarlet. She maketh herself coverings of tapestry. Her clothing is silk and purple. Her husband is known in the gates, and he sitteth among the elders of the land. She maketh fine linen, and selleth and delivereth girdles unto the merchants. Strength and honor are her clothing, and she shall rejoice in time to come. She opens her mouth with wisdom, and her tongue is the law of kindness. She looketh well to the ways of her husband, and eateth not the bread of idleness. Her children arise up and call her blessed, her husband also, and praise her. Her daughters have done virtuously, but thou excellest all of them. Favor is deceitful, beauty is vain. But a woman that feareth the Lord, she shall be praised. Give her the fruit of her hands, and let her own works praise her in the gate. This is a very familiar passage. You always hear it when it's time for Mother's Day programs and all these other things for women. But I want to talk about a little bit today. I want to talk about the smartest person I know. The smartest person I know. When you think about Mother's Day, I'm in the trucking industry, and freight always goes up around Mother's Day, and things sell out of the stores, and all kind of things go on for Mother's Day. Mother's Day is almost as popular as Christmas because everyone loves and supports their mother. Mother's Day, the cards fly off the shelf, the gifts and the restaurants are full. All of these things just happened on this past week for Mother's Day. But what makes this woman so significant? Well, I would submit to you that I feel that my mother is the smartest person that I know. Well, how can you say that, Pastor Bobby? Well, look here at the text. This is this woman, Solomon's mother, which King Lemuel, we're not sure who he is. He could very well be Solomon or Hezekiah. But look, this mother is teaching him the things that are here in Proverbs chapter 31. And we see this woman teaching him these things in Proverbs 31. She has wisdom that comes from God. And that's why I submit that this woman in my life is the smartest person that I know. Well, I'll explain it as I go on here today. One thing about it, if you want to change the world, all you have to do is change the agenda of women. If you change the agenda of women, you can change the world. Well, Pastor, what do you mean? Well, whether it's politics, religion, business, money, inflation, war, whatever concerns you. All of these things would like to substitute the agenda and have the woman taken off of her assignment and put on these other things. Whatever may be concerning you within this world that you may see and you may think that is more important than what the mother is supposed to be doing. Well, I submit to you the reason why we are in the shape that we're in, because the agenda of the woman has been replaced with what Satan wants to deem important. As we look at our text on today, we see the advice of the mother being at the forefront of the king. First of all, women do not have to fight for significance. If you realize who you are, you know that you are significant. The significance of women, of being a woman, the significance of you having rights, the significance of you being able to make decisions for yourself, it's always been there. It's been the freedom that has been given by God. But what the devil wants to do is the devil wants to get the woman sidetracked with worldly agendas. Well, why does he want to sidetrack women with worldly agendas? Well, you see, this is the smartest person I know. Why do you say that she's the smartest person I know? If you look in the book of Luke, after all of these things, when Jesus had come through the Virgin Mary and all of these things were happening and the shepherds and everyone that came to worship and give their gifts, one thing it says about Mary in Luke, it says that she pondered all of these things in her heart. The reason why I submit to you that my mama is the smartest person I know, because women were assigned to study you. Your mama studies you from day one all the way through. She ponders things in her heart, and her first thing is to preserve the life that God has allowed her to birth into this world. Your mother loves you so much, she's willing to study you. She's willing to ponder these things in your heart. You are the priority of your mother. You speak to any mother, and the thing about it, she doesn't have to divide this up among her children. She loves all her children equally because that is her God-given assignment. The mother is important. Eve, the mother of all things, represents the significance of each and every woman. You don't have to march. You don't have to do all of these things to proclaim your significance. You're already significant when you know your place in God. Look at the text on today. She's talking to her son, and she's trying to give her son some advice. Within the text today, this mother starts out talking about this man's choice of women. She said, "Do not give thy strength unto women, because women have the ability to destroy kings." The power of a woman, which I already said is the smartest person that I know, you have the ability to build up and you have the ability to destroy. This woman knows this power. If you don't know your power, what you will do is you will submit your gifts to the enemy. What do you mean submitting your gifts to the enemy? You walk around here portraying yourself like Jezebel. Jezebel knew that she had power, but her power was not of God. She took liberty of what God had given her, and she used it to abuse not only her husband, but all the righteous men that were around. Look around at what's happening today. You have women doing stuff and they don't know why they want to seduce people. They just want to seduce. That just seducing spirit just causes them to want to do. I don't even know. I don't even want him. I don't even like him, but I don't mind seducing people. I don't mind drawing attention to myself. I'm using my God-given gift and I'm using it in the wrong way. The power that a woman has. What you need to do is you need to realize who you are. And who does it take to put you in your place? It takes a righteous mother. This righteous mother is able to call out the Jezebels in this world. And she tells this king that, look, if you want to stay on the right track, you need to open up your mouth and you need to stay away from these women who don't mean you any good. What are we missing today? I told you in the first part that if the devil can change the agenda of the mother, then he can change the agenda of the world. When women don't speak out against other women with that seducing spirit that are trying to cause preachers to stray, good men to stray, kings to stray. Why do they cause men to go? Because they're operating in the form of wickedness and darkness from the devil. They don't know why they want to do it. They just want to do it. They just don't want to see somebody else getting ahead. They don't want to see anybody else going forward. They always want to throw just a different agenda into anything. Why submit to you on today that mother's agenda has been changed? But watch this. The smartest person I know, she is able to look at things and ponder things in her heart. Why does she ponder these things in her heart? Because watch this, the woman is better than any Apple computer, MacBook, or whatever else you got out there. I don't care if you got a Galaxy or whatever you got in your hand. A woman is better than that. Because a woman is able to ponder things in her heart, look at the situation, and even from a bad situation, she resolves in herself the right thing to do the next time. That's why a woman is the smartest person I know. Watch this. Because all of the things that they go through, they learn how to build together and put life lessons together to be able to teach their children. They teach their children because they realize that I have a God-given mission. I have an opportunity to lay out another path for my child. I have an opportunity, even though I might have made some mistakes, I've learned from my mistakes of the past. Not only have I learned from my mistakes, I've learned from the mistakes of others. That's why I submit to you that my mama is the smartest person that I know. You may have not had all of the things that other people have had, but you learned how to work with what you had. You looked around with the people in similar situations, and you realized that I had to devise a plan for my house. What are we missing today? We're missing women who are devising plans for their own house. You're too busy about everybody else's business to where you're not tending to your business at home. The most important job, and now y'all gonna say he sounds like somebody out the 50s. The most important job of the woman as the mother of all things is to lead her household. Now watch this. How does she lead her household? She leads her household under the guidance of the man. Now, the man goes out there in the world and he's concerned about the things that we need. But once he gets the materials, he brings the raw materials home to this woman who is the official at the house. Why is she the official? She studies the children. She studies the children, she raises the children, and she gives them instructions. Now, because the heart of the man, the heart of the man is meant to be caught up with some other things because he has to seek how to go out and bring things into the house so that the household can get ahead. I submit to you today, the glue that holds the family together is the mother. As the man does his part as the leader and the spiritual leader of his home, the woman has an agenda. The agenda is to build the household and create leaders. She supports her husband as the king, but she also builds up princes and princesses in the household and prepares them for the future. But the devil knows. If the devil knows, he can take the preparation out of the process. If he knows if he can get the woman out of the home, if she can get the woman fighting for the role of someone else, if he can take the woman out of her place, then the home ceases to be what it's supposed to be. We need women today that will cry loud and spare not. Because why is this woman special? This woman is special because her priority is you. Her priority is you. When the mother's priority is her children, she watches what they take in, she watches what they're putting out, and she seeks to give guidance. When Solomon, King Lemuel, the writer of this passage, when he realized he needed direction, he remembered what his mother taught him. He remembered what his mother. Now, if you're not teaching anything, then the guidance in the household is lacking. Because we need women to stand up. Not only do we need preachers to preach, we need that woman to preach in her household. That woman needs to be carrying the gospel home and teaching it to her children. Because you are the first one that your child admires. Your child admires you, and why does your child admire you? Because you study your child. Your heart is for your child. Your living, your being, and everything that you have, watch this, is directed toward this child because you want this child to grow up and be a success. You're concerned, you study, you ponder all of these things in your heart because the home is important. Well, what is the church made up of? The church is made up of families. And I submit to you, when the role of the woman and the agenda of the woman has been sidetracked and turned to something else, then the home suffers. All you got to do is look at the news and look around. You see why the home is suffering. The home is suffering because the children cease to be the priority. Because the enemy wants to show you that everything else is more important than your home. But watch, when you realize who you are, women, when you realize the power that you have, don't you realize that the power behind every president is the woman that's up in that White House? See, because there's a man out front taking all of the blows, but the thing about it, when that man comes in from all of those blows, who was the one to be able to talk to him and calm him down and put him in the right frame of mind and help him to make right decisions? It's that woman. It's that woman that's in control. But watch this. It's not for the woman to be in control so she can run things. That woman already needs to know her place. You better know that you already run things because God has placed that power on the inside of you to hold the family together. You are the glue. You are the love. You are the concern. Who is the one who's able to help you when you're sick? Who is the one who was able to nurse you and help you get well? Who was the one that'll sit there and rub your hand and rub your head all night long if she has to? Who was the one that's up praying for you? It's the mother. It's the mother that's holding things together. But watch this. It's the woman in collaboration with the man, which is the head of the household. He is the spiritual leader, but it's that woman that holds things together. When you miss the smartest person I know, your whole house will suffer. If that woman is not playing the role that she needs to play. Now watch this. You can't let this world replace what you are supposed to do. You can't let this world replace your greatness with all other things. Every man, every woman honors their mother. Why do they honor their mother? Why is their mother so special? Because their mother first studied them. Why does the mother study them? The mother studies her child because she realized that is her most important agenda. That is her first assignment. Because watch this. When you have godly seed, that godly seed turns right back around and takes care of their mother and father. They honor their mother and father. It's a cycle that we are meant to be living in. And see, watch this. There's a few things that I need to leave with you on today. The first thing, mother is so special because she makes the home her priority. Number two, mother is so special because she studies you. And watch this. Number three is mother is so helpful because she helps her dad conquer the world. The mother and the father come together, and behind every man that's worth anything is always a good woman. Whether he's married or whether it's his mother. There's some woman that is speaking into that man's life. Look, we are meant here to be a team. He said it's not good for man to be alone. It's not good for man to be all one. I will create a helpmate. Now watch this. This helpmate is not making you less than a person. This helpmate is because this thing was not complete without you. Realize that your importance comes from God. You don't have to fight with nobody else. You don't have to be jealous of any other woman. You have an agenda. And the world suffers when you don't take your agenda at home seriously. When you don't take your agenda at home seriously, the whole world suffers. And there's people out robbing and killing and stealing everything. It's not because they didn't hear the preacher preach. They didn't hear you preach. You need to be preaching. It's because this mother was talking to this king that this king was realizing that, look, drinking and carousing will keep me from making wise decisions in my life. Leave that strong drink to those that are perishing. Leave that drugs and leave that alcohol alone. It takes you being the example to your kids to stop the drug campaign. It takes you realizing that, look, I need to shape and form leaders in my household. I need to tell my leaders what's best for them. I need to tell my people, watch this. Your mother speaks to those things because she cares for you. Your mother studied you while you didn't even know your own self. Your mother's been watching you because she knew the best mate for you. You wonder why mother or father is upset with that thing that you trying to bring around and those things that you are attached to, because they know the greatness is on the inside of you. And I submit to you on today, when we get slack on our agenda for the home, that's when our children and everything else gets out of whack. If you want your church to be on track, start with your mother's and your father's ministry. Start with the ministry of ministering to them. Once you get the word in that mother, once you get the word in that father, and they're able to speak instruction to their children, you'll have what you have here in Proverbs 31. Remember, this is a woman speaking and talking about this virtuous woman. This is a woman speaking because this woman has seen both sides of the fence. Notice that she first talks about the wayward woman before she talks about the woman that's worthy to be praised. She talks about the woman that's out in the street abusing her power to turn people the other way. What you need to know is you need to be preaching within your home. You need to be preaching that this is what we represent. This is our last name, and we're representing, we are a godly seed. God has came in and saved me. He saved this household, and I am the covering for this household. And man, as a spiritual leader, you say, as for me and my house, we will serve the Lord. Then you hand that mantle off to that woman, and that woman will help build you up. It says, look, you'll be known in the great gates. Your children will praise you. Everyone will praise you. And this woman will have the ability to do everything she needs to do in the business world. I submit to you, your business world, your business success does not get validated by your company. Your business success gets validated by your family at home. Your family at home will build you up and push you toward any goal that you want to achieve. If you learn to put God's agenda first, if you learn to do what God has told you to do, I'm telling you right now, he's already made you the smartest person I know. Because what? You're able to learn from the past. You're able to learn from the past. You're able to ponder the future. You're able to put together a plan, and you can pivot at the drop of a hat. Why can you pivot at the drop of the hat? Because you know what concerns your children, you know what makes your children tick, and you know how to lead a man as well. The thing about this, that woman is the glue that holds the house together. Why is this woman there? It says right here, this is a virtuous woman. She's able to take up the slack and do the things that are necessary because what? She's looking out for her own team. The problem today is we're fighting against our own teams. We're not keeping out the things that are destroying our home. We're inviting those things in. Y'all heard Pastor Torrance talking about it. You're inviting the things in that are distracting you and taking you away from the Lord. We destroy our own household by not being about the agenda that God has given us. This virtuous woman, watch, she makes her house her priority. She studies her children, and she is the best helpmate for her husband. She builds her husband up because, watch this, she is the number one model for humility. Why is she the number one model for humility? Because she knows that she has power, but her power is under control. Jesus said, I can call down legions of angels and I can wipe all this thing out right now. But watch, he didn't, because he knew his mission. Women, I want to submit today, do you know your mission? Do you know your agenda? When you know your mission and your agenda, you can walk in humility because you have nothing to please to anybody. I don't have to please. I don't have to show you. I don't have to show off what I'm working with because watch this. I'm working with what God gave me to work with. I realize that I'm a queen. I realize that I'm a leader because behind every good man, there's a good mother and there's a good wife that's somewhere in the background. But watch this. Your background humility helps you to know who you are. You can walk in humility because you have nothing to prove. You're the smartest person that I know is because you have power under control. When you have power under control, you can't allow anybody to come in and push your buttons. If your power is not under control, somebody can say something about you when you fly off the handle. But see, watch this. I have no need to fly off the handle because I refuse to let you tell me who I am. I refuse to let you tell me how my household should be ran. I don't need something from the Supreme Court or whatever or who else. I don't need a judgment. I don't need any of that. I already know what God has said as for me and my house. See, I can speak as the third child in my house. You know, I'm sure the doctor stood around the table to my young mother and told her that, well, you already got a girl and a boy. Why do you need another child? Why don't you just get rid of this one? But I'm so glad that I'm pro-life and my mama was too. You better know that it ain't about the decision that this world is trying to push upon you. It's about the decision to choose what God has given you as a God-given mandate to lead my family and be a virtuous woman. When you learn to be a virtuous woman, when you learn to be the leader of your household, you can come together as a collective body of Christ and we all push one another forward. But if you don't, you're going to allow the enemy to come in, change your agenda, and he's going to bring down one house at a time. Why is that? Because the woman refuses to be the smartest person that I know. If you better do and take a tip from Mary, ponder these things in your heart. Decide what's important for your household, and you better put a pulpit in there and start to preach. You better preach to your children, preach to your husband, build your husband up. Let him know that he's the head and not the tail. He's above and not beneath. As for me and my house, we shall serve the Lord. Because greater is he that is in me than he that is in the world. Who was the smartest person I know? It's my mama, because she sought to lead her house in the right way, under direction of my father. He knows he's the head. But watch this. The ultimate humility is knowing that you have power and control. And I have been ordained by Jesus to represent just like Jesus does. I have the power, but my power is under control. Until next time, this is Pastor Bobby signing off. Have a blessed day.